performance with Kevin Powell, and he was the organist on Sunday's Best on BET at one point. Like
I know. I think that's
crazy organist. But one thing that stuck out in my head before the performance we did the night before, he said, "Study the songs," and nobody ever said it like that. They might say, "Hey, listen to the song," or "Get the song," but nobody ever said, "Study the song." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just like you said, game film. If you watch game film, you'll learn certain tendencies on a player. Like, oh, this guy likes to go to his left, or he's not good going to his left. You know what I mean? And those little subtle differences could be like the big thing that people don't understand, especially in music, man. It's a lot of subtleties with the work. And you said chemistry. I pretty much knew Chris Perry my whole life, man. He was my best friend's brother. He's a little bit older than me. He grew up with my brother. But Corey Cooper, man, like I met him, and it was just like from the day we met, we were just able to mesh. We went through a lot of the same things and support each other, man, because, he taught me a lot with this producing stuff. So, and another crazy thing coming out of Connecticut, man, people don't want to show you anything. It's not just Connecticut with this business in general. People don't want to show you. They might have something that went good for them, and they'll be like, "Yo, how did you do that?" It's like, they'll tell you some little vague thing, but that's not it. You know what I mean? They won't tell you. So I definitely just appreciate those and people like that who aren't afraid to show you how they got to where they are. You know what I mean? And connect the dots for you, because that's big, man. Because if not, you just gonna be in the ocean by yourself with the sharks, man. That's how it is out here.
Did you have any artists that you listened to growing up?
Growing up, like I said, man, I grew up in a strict church family, man. So the rule in my house was, if it's not church, you can't listen to the music, no secular music. So it wasn't until I got in my teens that I actually started listening to hip hop and rap. At a young age, I used to listen to Michael Jackson. As a 3, 4, 5, 6, I love Michael Jackson. It was just crazy the way he could move and sing, and he was just so different than everybody. Yeah. I'm like, yo, who is this dude? Like, how does he do that? And but like I said, in my teens, I started listening to hip hop, and it was this thug in my neighborhood, and he gave me the CD. He was like, yo, this the hardest rapper, man. It was DMX. It's dark and hell is hot.
Oh yeah. That's a classic album.
Man, I put that. I put that tape in, and this dude was just crazy. You could tell, like, yo, this dude is real. Like, he's really do all this stuff that he's talking about. He's really like that. He had the, he going in,
Yeah.
I'm like, this dude crazy, yo. Like, I just couldn't get enough of it. But it was, I remember it was the last song on the album that made me want to rap. When what was it called? I don't want to say it, but it was Then Started Something. They Then Started Something.
Yeah.
He just killed that verse and ended it with crazy intensity, and I was like, I want to do that. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'll be the best at it, but I want to do that.
So DMX was like he influenced you a lot. That was like the main one. Him and Michael Jackson.
DMX, Michael Jackson. At the same time that I started listening to DMX, I started listening to Eminem.
Okay, yeah.
Who was another just alien when it comes to music. Like, he was just doing things that nobody else was doing and saying stuff that nobody else would even think of. You know what I mean? And it's just like his mind was crazy. And a little bit later, I started listening to Kanye West on his first CD.
Mm-hmm.
It was just nothing like his first CD, because everybody was talking about violence and drugs and, being the hardest. And this dude's like, yo, I'm just me. I do music.
Yeah.
So I respected his braveness of being able to step into the game and be different, man. I respected it. So that's when I started listening to him.
That's what's up, yeah, because Eminem, I want to talk about that too a little bit later, probably in a few minutes, because this is a segment, in the podcast where I ask people who's they top, like you as an artist, who's your top 5, either artists or, I like to say top 5 rappers, because, there's it's like one of them conversations that it could keep going and going, but if you want to just put any artist that's not even in rap, that's fine. So like, who's like your top five?
Top five? Man, I wasn't prepared for this. All right, top five. Are you? It's crazy, man. Because as an artist, I listen to music probably different, man. So I'll just go with people that motivated me. Like I said, DMX was crazy, but my style and his style is totally different. You know what I mean? If I do turn up in a song, it'll probably only be for a second. So you won't catch me screaming and with crazy ad-libs and stuff like him. But as far as like my style, what it's been influenced by, I would say, when I started doing music, I definitely wanted to be able to touch that high level of Eminem and Kendrick Lamar type, craziness.
Okay.
And I have a couple songs on my CD where maybe I tried to reach that. One of them, which is about to get, is right now up in the mix of being Hip Hop Hercules' album for the year, and that's Swim featuring Corey Cooper, where I pretty much just didn't hold back with my lyricism, and I say that was definitely motivated by Kendrick and Eminem, their type of style, just going crazy. If you listen to my whole CD, you'll find like Young Biggie, how he was pretty much scandalous and just open with it, but like thug with it, you know what I'm saying, and smooth, you know what I'm saying, like pretty much irresistible with his style and just totally confident. Definitely motivated by Biggie. At the same time, Jay-Z, coming from up north, you're not gonna miss Jay-Z and Jadakiss as a lyricist. So I mean, I don't know if guys in, but that's four. So as a fifth one, I guess I would have to say Kanye West, man, because I found his music young. Even though what I first started listening to is a lot different than the music that he makes now, which is more like rock. He makes a lot more rock than rap nowadays.
Yeah, like College Dropout type. College Dropout was
College Dropout, man. Man, that College Dropout feel. I mean, I still wake up in the morning and put on College Dropout. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so classic.
That was big for me, man. So I mean, that'll be my top five for right now. So she put me on the spot, bro.
I mean, but like, you the first one who actually put Kanye in your top five, because a lot of people, they may not put him in the top five because of, he may not be a lyricist, like he may not write his own stuff. But
absolutely,
like to me, he's in my top 10, if not my top 15, because he's like a true artist. Like he creates, like graduation.
He changed the game, man.
Yeah, graduation.
There's not many people who go outside of the formula. I mean, you could put Lil Wayne in there.
Yeah, Lil Wayne.
Because when that first Carter came out, when the first Carter came out, I got my hands on that, and I was like, I'm up north in Connecticut, and I'm like, yo, this is the next dude. Like, he about to be the next Jay-Z. Everybody like, yo, you wildin' Lil Wayne. They remember Lil Wayne from the Hot Boys. I'm like, yo, he has the formula. He understands it, And I knew. I'm like, yo, so I wasn't surprised when he started taking over the game and killing everything, especially with his personality. I mean, he's a Libra. I'm a Libra. I just understood it. Like, I seen it. He was working with everybody, and people were actually mad at him for working with everybody. Because they were like, that's not how you do it in the game. You know what I mean? They're like, yo, keep the success to yourself. And he was spreading it out, man. So I definitely look up to him, too, at the same time, man. But, yeah, I mean, Kanye changed the game, man, at a young age. Nobody was talking about Jesus Walks and making all these different types of songs that he was making, especially as a dude who wasn't the most lyrical. So I just had a lot of respect for him, man. The braveness and courageousness.
Yeah, man, because, like, Kanye I could say he's like one of, our generational, artists that we was listening to when we was younger. I remember my sister, when College Dropout first came out, and like playing that whole album was like refreshing. Like it was like the memories, like when I was in middle school. The Graduation, that was like my favorite one. Like I listen to that like anytime I get the chance to, because from track one all the way to the last track, And that album for me came out when I was in high school. So when I was in high school, I was a little bit older and stuff, and I was playing sports and things like that, and
Yep.
I was I was a teenager, so I was getting to know a lot of things and stuff like that. So like in that album, it pretty much motivate me to do what I want to do. Right now, like I've got like 2 degrees, going back to school. I have a few businesses that I got, that I want to, that's up and coming. It was just one of them albums that, like, was like, you're gonna be somebody one day. All his albums was like that to me. Like his first 3 or 4 albums, but I remember I first heard, for the first time I heard the whole CD. What's it called? Twisted Fantasy. What's it called? I think it was called the Twisted Fantasy. I forgot the name of the album. Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Okay.
I remember a few weeks ago I've heard it, like the whole album for the first time. I like, that's a classic. That album is a classic because a lot of people say they always told me that album was better than some of his first, which to this day, like I still like say that Graduation and College Dropout and Late Registration is still better than that album. But as far as like a generational, like from like, cause that album came out like 2010, 2011. So like you can see that album carried on like a whole decade. You know what I'm saying? Like you see these artists coming out, with that type of sound and stuff like that. But I always felt like that a lot of people should give Kid Cudi a lot of credit too, because Kid Cudi, when you listen to his first albums and stuff like that, Kanye got some of that sound from him. You know what I'm saying? So like Kid Cudi.
Oh yeah.
He's not my top 15, but he's like one of them artists that like if it wasn't for you, he's one of them artists that affect.
And I heard one of his freestyles. I mean, it takes a lot to make me think. I'm a lyrical dude, so it's be like, this guy's crazy, man. But I heard his freestyles and just the metaphors and the subtlety he went into his phrases and came out and going back, man, it was crazy. But I'm like, this dude is crazy, man. Definitely a lyrical dude, man. I respect it. It's funny, man, because I'm working so much and like we said, I'm having a lot of some music, man, but I'm still not at the point to where I'm fully paid by this music and into it, man. So for one, like last year I was working 3 jobs, just to make all this stuff happen. On top of songwriting, releasing my own album, producing for other people. And on top of that, like I said, I'm getting better in this music. So it's getting to the point where I hear something, I almost, sometimes people ask me like, did you hear this new song? And I'm just like, nah. Like, and they probably think I'm being funny, but I sort of stay away from listening to music a lot of times because I don't want my sound to get influenced by anybody else's, if that makes any sense, man. I just want my music to be genuine. So definitely when I'm working on albums and producing and stuff like I am right now, I'm not really in the mix of what's going on in the video to the fullest, man. Unless somebody plays it or turns a video on right in front of me, man. I'm just focused on what I'm doing, man, to the fullest.
Well, I didn't get the chance to listen to your album, cause I got it. I'm gonna listen to it when I'm on my way to work. I gotta go to work around like 2 o'clock and stuff like that. But what is that? That's the only project that you have? Like that was the only one? Like as far as like album wise?
Yeah, when we were doing music back in North Carolina, we never even